What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over the 4 biggest announcements from Marvel Spider-Man 2 at San Diego Comic-Con. It has been absolutely nuts, and much as predicted, they actually did everything right at the show, and then right as it ended, they dropped a massive PlayStation blog, as well as just the trailer, which is absolutely amazing. I'm sure we'll be talking and looking at that for weeks to come. I want to go over the 4 biggest things. I want to start with some of the bundles / purchasing things. So number one, that amazing controller. I want to start there because one of the first things people said as it was shown at the actual Comic-Con was, can you please buy this controller separately? Turns out you can. So this is actually a pretty good look at what you're able to do. You can get the entire bundle where it is literally the PS5 themed as Spider-Man. You got the controller that obviously comes with it. Then you have actual like the sliders. You can actually just replace your own if you already have a PS5. That is enormous, and I'm sure that will sell out very, very quickly. I think a lot of people will do that. And then they did confirm you can buy the controller separately, which is shown here as well. Absolutely awesome and good to see. Good to see it. And also, they're kind of liars because they did say there would be no controller. And I think a lot of us kind of had assumed this is the opportunity of a lifetime. There's so much money they could make by doing a themed PS5 and by doing a themed controller. So we all kind of assumed they were lying, and turns out they actually were. Number 2, let's talk about Venom. So Venom was primarily shown at the end of the story trailer, but we also got a little interesting tidbit, which a lot of people are calling BS on, is that Eddie Brock will be in this game, but he won't be Venom. So this was something we talked about with Jeff Keighley when that whole appearance happened, and the idea that you're gonna really try to push Eddie Brock away. Is this gonna be like a Batman Arkham Knight situation? I will tell you this, because this kind of goes into a future point. I think they really want you to believe it's Harry, and we'll talk about that in a second. I think that's what the entire trailer is kind of setting up, kind of in the background, but that was an interesting tidbit. And then Venom himself just looks absolutely amazing. Voice, just in how he looks, really, really cool. Obviously, we did not get that he is playable. I'm starting to lose, I guess, hope in that one. I know people flat out actually don't want it. There's some people that just don't want to play as Venom. That's totally cool. I think no matter what, we are probably going to get some sort of like Venom spin-off thing where they're going to maybe set that up in this game, where they could, if they wanted to, make a spin-off, a whole solo game just with Venom. But what we saw of him was very cool, and it does harken to Harry. So let's talk about that really quick. So we see a lot of Harry Osborn throughout the trailer, opens with it, and it closes. What's interesting, right, is when Venom talks about healing the world, and Harry says that in the beginning to Peter. So I do think they're trying to lead us a certain path with believing somebody is Venom. Again, I think based off this trailer, they want us to believe it's Harry. I think by pushing Eddie Brock so far away, obviously they don't want us to, think that it's him. Again, it could be an Arkham Knight thing where they're just saying it over and over again, just lying, and then ultimately it will be Eddie Brock. Again, you could actually even argue they did it with a controller, saying there is no controller and then there was one. So it's not like it's never happened before. But Harry was a major part of the trailer, and honestly, way more of a part of it than I thought he was. I didn't really know if they were going to hide him like completely, but he's like out in the open. There's like friendship things, or like the carnival, or all this social interaction. Did not really expect that very much. The trailer itself, the tone of it, I would say, was very different than what I even thought. I didn't really have expectations, but then seeing it, I loved it. It's just not exactly what I thought it was going to be. And then the final thing to talk about is MJ. So we get a brand new look at her. We find a little bit more about her, that she obviously works at the Daily Bugle, but J. Jonah Jameson is like the head of it. He's trying to clean house, maybe firing a lot of people, so she's not sure if she'll still have the job. She seems to be a very big part of it, which was kind of a question. I guess it's not confirmed she's a massive part of it, but throughout the trailer, she has those connections to Peter. We see her talking, it seems like, at least I guess we hear her talking to Miles about Peter. So a big theme obviously was the symbiote, and I guess Venom in general, but you can see not only what it does to Peter, but you can see what it does to those that are around him, love him, like the friends and all that. And I really like that they kind of emphasize that a little bit, where they are worrying about him. They're not really sure what's going on, and obviously then you see the symbiote right around where MJ's hiding from it. So I don't know if that confirms a playable thing. I don't think the trailer dismissed it. I also don't think it confirmed MJ missions, but definitely seems like she's a really big part of the game. She's in the thick of it, right? She'll be in high danger opportunities for herself, let's say. So we'll see if we end up actually playing as her. So there was more that was announced. I was just trying to pick like the 4 big things that kind of stood out to me. Again, I'm sure We'll analyze this trailer and the blog for weeks to come, and we're getting ever so close to the game releasing anyway. So let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.